NRL vid 090 back here with another tipping video today. And today this is my round 14 NRL tips for the 2021 NRL season. So yeah, look, this round we're back to all 8 games because unlike last round, round 13, we only had four games in total because some particular teams had byes. So yeah, that's why we only had 4 games last week. But now we're back to 8 games, and you know, all those other teams who did have byes last week will now come back and we'll play this round, round 14. So yeah, we'll see how these teams did go during the bye and how they do come back from the break. So yeah, let's get into my round 14 tips. So the first game on Friday night, it's the Eels and the Cowboys, my team, up against Different Australia's team, which is big for us, and it's at Loderland, Brookvale Oval. And so getting into the home team side, for Manly's side, the big news is that Kieran Foran's back from Manly at 5'8", which is very good for us. And then Haumole Olakawatsu returns from a concussion he suffered against Parramatta in the back row. And Carl Lawton will remain starting in the back row as well, while Dylan Walker makes his return off the bench for Manly, and yeah, Ben Trbojevic keeps his spot in the team off the bench as well, which is good. And yeah, the rest of the team seem to be the same as well, because there's no Kepi, no Sean Kepi, no Tavita Funa, no Zach Sadler, all because of injuries and suspensions. And for the Cowboys, Tom Dearden will play his first official Cowboys game for the new club. And Hamiso played against Warriors, so he's already been playing for now 2 weeks. And looks like Hill and Luke, he's out of the team. And Mitchell Dunn's also suspended, so he won't be playing this week. And yeah, so let's see how the Cowboys do go with their team. There doesn't seem to be any other changes that I know of apart from Tom Dearden playing. In this game, I've got Manly to win. I'm not being biased or anything, but I do think if Tom, Jake and Daly Cherry Evans all back up from State of Origin on Wednesday and play on Friday, I do think Manly will win. Not by a lot, but I think Manly will win because on Friday as well at Brookvale Oval, it's going to be a special game for Bob Fulton apparently. So Manly have to turn up for that one. So I've got Manly to win 24 points to 12. And now our last game of Friday night, it's the second game of 2. Yeah, of course. Sharks and Panthers at the Australia Jubilee Stadium in Cogra. So the ins and outs of the Sharks. So Billy McGulis is out this week, and replacing Billy McGulis, it is Andrew Fafita off the bench. And I think that's the only change for the Sharks as well. So no other changes than that. And then that. For the Panthers, now the Panthers, they still don't have the rest of their Origin players apart from Api Koroisau, who's been named at hooker for the Panthers this week, and other than that, that's the only change for the Panthers this week. This game though, I still believe Panthers will bounce back from their loss against Tigers. I think Api Koroisau brings a big difference to attack, and I think Panthers will be a little bit too strong for the Sharks on Friday. But don't expect Panthers to smash them, but I think it'll be a tight game. So Panthers to win 22 points to 14, I'm predicting. Now, Super Saturday, the first game of 3, it's the Titans and the Roosters at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. So the ins and outs for the Titans, Jaden Campbell drops out for AJ Brimson, who returns from Origin camp. And Tino Fa'asua Malawi, David Fafita, both been named for the Titans, despite being on Origin camp as well. So is Mawaki Fedawaka being also named as well. And yeah, so and Sam McIntyre and Jamin Jolliffe will both drop back to the bench. For the Roosters, Matt Butcher's out this week due to suspension, I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's injury, sorry. And replacing him off the bench will be Daniel Saluka Fafita. And I believe that's the only change for the Roosters as well. Oh yeah, and Josh Morris returns for Roosters instead of Joseph Suwali. In this game, I've got Roosters to beat the Titans. I think Roosters will be a lot too good for the Titans on Saturday. So Roosters to win, in my opinion, 30 points to 18. And now the second game on Super Saturday, it's the Rabbitohs and Knights at 5:30 PM at Stadium Australia. So the ins and outs for the Rabbitohs. Dane Gagai is out this week, so replacing him in the centres, it is Braden Burns. And Jai Arrow is also out because of Origin camp, obviously, resting those sort of players. And replacing him off the bench, I'm pretty sure. No, starting prop, sorry, it's Mark Nichols. And Tom Burge drops to the bench. For the Knights, looks like Anari Tawala shifts from centres to wing in favour of Stafford Toa, who gets dropped from the team. Kurt Mann shifts from 5'8" to the centres, while Thanks Crossland joins the team at halfback, with Jake Clifford going to 5'8". And yeah, the rest of the team seems to be the same for the Knights. No other changes really. Yeah, Matt Croker drops out as well from the team. In this game, I think Rabbitohs will be way too good for the Knights. I expect Rabbitohs to put a bit of a score on the Knights as well. So I've got Souths to win. I'm going to go with a scoreline of 36 points to 6. Should be two good Souths. And our last game of Super Saturday, it's the Raiders and the Broncos at 7:35 PM at GIO Stadium in Canberra. For the Raiders, so Caleb Aiken's been dropped, I believe, because of his form, I guess. So Bailey Simonson goes to fullback, and Matthew Timoko comes in the centres. While Josh Papali returns to Raiders, which is big for them, and looks like that's the only changes right there for Raiders. No other changes that I know of. For the Broncos, now the big news is that Carmichael Hunt will make his NRL return after having not played since 2009, and he'll play in the halves at jersey number 6 with Albert Kelly as the halfback, and Herbie Farnworth will play fullback this week, and the rest of the team seems to be the same. The other changes that I know of, and Xavier Coates is back in the team for David Mead. In this game, I reckon the Broncos will win. I actually reckon the Broncos will beat the Raiders this week. I know some people tip Canberra because it's in Canberra, etc. But I still think Broncos will win. I think Broncos have been a lot more better the past couple of weeks than Raiders have been. So I've got Broncos to win. I reckon Broncos will win 20 points to 16. And now Sunday footy, it's the Warriors and the Storm at 2 PM at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford. And yeah, the team for the Warriors. So Kevin Marlowe's out, and replacing him in the wing, it's Edward Cossey. And what's the other changes? Alasia Katoa's out, so replacing Alasia Katoa off the bench, I'm pretty sure it is going to be Jack Murchie. Oh no, it's Bailey Sirenen, sorry, in the starting back row. That's who replaces Alasia Katoa, Bailey Sirenen. And Reece Walsh is out because it's a suspension, of course. So that's why Roger Tuivasa-Sheck goes to fullback, and yeah, Marcelo Montoya keeps his place in the team. And for this, and Anthony Blake's been named in the reserve, so it'll be interesting to see whether he plays or not. And for the Storm, looks like Nico Hines keeps his place at fullback with Ryan Pappenhausen not returning yet. Josh Adokar, Cameron Munster, and Felix Kafusi have all been named, despite being in Origin camp, and Harry Grant as well. And the rest of the team's the same for the Storm. In this game, I will be going with the Storm to win. They should be too good for the Warriors. I've got Storm to win 28 points to 16 over the Warriors on Sunday. And now the second game of Sunday, it's the Eels and the Tigers at Bankwest Stadium. And the ins and outs for the Eels, so can't really see any changes apart from Reid Marnie being injured this week. So Joey Larsick starts at hooker, and that's the only change for the Eels. For the Tigers, Tigers have got Joe Ofahengaue returning from Origin camp most likely, so he starts at lock, and that's the only change there as well. In this game, I expect the Eels to be a little bit too good for the Tigers, so I will be taking the Eels here to win 32 points to 20 in a bit of a high-scoring game. And now the last game, which is the Queen's birthday on Monday, I love this sort of game. It's the Dragons and the Bulldogs at Stadium Australia. For the Bulldogs, ins and outs, Jeremy Marshall-King returns from a foot injury, so he starts a hooker. And Sione Katoa also returns from suspension off the bench. And yeah, that's the team right there for the Bulldogs. No other changes, of course. For the Dragons, doesn't seem to be any other changes, actually. So the same team as pretty much last week when they beat the Broncos. In this game, I will be tipping the Dragons. Should be way too good for the Bulldogs. I'm not way too good, but I think it'll be a tight game, actually. I think Dragons will have enough, because there's always tight Bulldogs and Dragons for some reason. So Dragons will win 19 points to 12 according to the field goal. I'm betting on it. And yeah, that's my tips for round 14, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the video.